Welcome into College Corner for week 5 of the college football slate. Last week, a great week, 3-1. That's 3-1 back-to-back weeks here on the YouTube channel. On the season, if you're following me on Twitter, 26-16, 62% hit rate so far this year. Definitely really solid. Hoping to keep it going. This week, I have 3 plays. They're all fairly ugly. They're all unders, whether it's a team total at a game, or a player prop. But again, you don't have to watch these games. You can just bet it and make some money. But I think a few of these games you will be watching. A big one on the slate, Colorado and USC. Colorado team that just got spanked last weekend. So very excited to get into these plays. If you guys do enjoy the video, would love it if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, I'll include my Twitter because I do post a lot more plays there. These are just 3 of my favorites early on here in the week that I do want you guys to lock in. Let's get into them. First one up is going to be at noon. It's Syracuse, their team total under 23.5. Again, unders can be not so much fun. In this particular case, we're kind of cheering for Clemson and their defense. That's something I can get behind here in this matchup. The Syracuse team, a little banged up, missing 2 pretty important pieces for their offense, and they're missing them for an extended period. Isaiah Jones went down in the game against Purdue. They were without him against Army. He is going to be out for an extended period, will be out of this game. And then their running back, Oronde Gadsden, is also out for the season. So they're going to a backup sophomore running back who's looked all right, hasn't been too efficient. I was actually considering taking his under rushing yards in this game. But what I do like more is this total for Syracuse. The results of kind of these, the receiver down, running back out for the year. The result has been Garrett Schrader running the ball quite a bit. He's run the ball 35 times the last 2 weeks. He ran it 25 times against Purdue. And running the football against this Clemson team is going to do you no favors. They're first in stuff rate. Got a great front four to make plays at the line of scrimmage and get behind the line of scrimmage. 8th in EPA per run. Opponents are not running the ball efficiently, averaging just 3.2 yards per carry, which is 5th in the country. So it's an elite unit when it comes to stopping the run. You saw it against Florida State, how good they were kind of eliminating the run game from Florida State. And as well, they're not bad at all against the pass, really limit explosive plays. I thought Clemson was the far better team against Florida State last week. Obviously didn't walk away with a win, but opponents are completing just 53.4% of their passes and averaging just 5.6 yards per attempt. I know this Clemson team is in a spot here on the road, coming off their second loss of the season, could feel like their year is over with 2 losses in conference play. But if there's one coach I have confidence in when it comes to keeping his unit and his team motivated, it's Dabo Swinney. Don't love him as a coach. I know his team will still get up for this game on the road against the Syracuse team. The people always tend to think they can, pull off an upset. They've been in a lot of these games against Clemson. I think this is a game where the defense really dominates for the Tigers. So I'm going to take the team total for Syracuse under 23.5. Again, keeping the theme here of the unders, I'm going to Colorado and USC, and with the helps of our friends at Props.cash, shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. I love Caleb Williams, under 353.5 passing yards, and let me tell you why. Was on this on Bo Nix last week. I took his under 316.5 passing yards. He went under this number by about 40 yards. This is a massive number for Williams. So using Props.cash, which I love to be able to do in a lot of these matchups, looking at their filters. So first, let's just go over this season. You can see it from the data at Props.cash. He's never gone over this number this season, under in all 4 games, pretty safely under this number in a number of them. This is a massive, massive number to get over. So what I also did, what I love with filtering at Props.cash, you can filter games on the road, at home, as favorites, as underdogs, in wins and in losses. I filtered this game and filtered this for games that USC has won. That USC has won this year, and obviously dating back to the previous seasons for Williams, going back to last year and even his time at Oklahoma. But even in games just with the Trojans, he's only gone over this number in 17% of his starts. This number is massive, and I know this Colorado defense is a problem, but what is a real problem for Colorado is they cannot stop the run to save their lives. Opponents are averaging 5.8 yards per carry. That's 121st in the country. Their stuff rate, they're making no plays at the line of scrimmage. They're 90th in that category. And Oregon just ran for 252 yards, averaged 7.4 yards per carry. Look, I get the motivational factor of kind of taking it to this Colorado team for all the trash talk, for all the talk throughout the early parts of the season of how good they were going to be, and they just aren't. I'm not shocked to see that. This is not a Deion Sanders team, that we're going to see in 3 years. This is a Deion Sanders team that he inherited and had to find a way to put together heading into this year. Running the football with Marshawn Lloyd is going to be incredibly successful for this USC team. And clearing a number this massive in a game that the sportsbooks expect you to win by 21 plus points, is not as easy as it seems. This USC team will be able to put points on the board by running the football, and I think they do that here. Williams will definitely give you a scare. He's going to post, 200 and something yards by halftime, but that still will not deter me from liking this under because late game, they will not need to throw the football. Who knows? Caleb Williams could be off the field by the time the fourth quarter starts. We've seen that in plenty of games with USC this year. So I'll take his under. I'll take the risk here because it's paid nicely for me this season attacking it. Last one up. I know we said going to go to unders in all three games here. This one is going to be a game total under. Georgia, Auburn, under 45.5. This one is an ugly low total, but I think it's for good reason. Auburn boasts one of the most lethargic offenses in the entire country. They have been terrible, no matter the opponent. They're averaging just 4.7 yards per play, 103rd in the country. They're also averaging that with 2 wins over UMass and Cal. Like, this isn't a team that's playing dynamic defenses that are really making plays and are beating them at the line of scrimmage. This is just a team that can't move the ball. I expected Hugh Freeze to bring in a better offense than this, but he just does not have the personnel. They're looking like they're going to go back to Peyton Thorne at quarterback because Robbie Ashford doesn't really give much of a passing threat to this offense, and you kind of need that against this Georgia team. If you're one-dimensional, you're just not going to be able to find success offensively. But Thorne hasn't eclipsed 100 passing yards against a Power 5 opponent this year, and I don't think that's going to but maybe it does happen if Thorne can stay in this game because they've been going to Ashford quite a bit as they've struggled. But they're not going to be able to throw it efficiently against this Georgia secondary that's got tons of talent that's back. Malachi Starks, Kamari Lassiter, Tyke Smith. Like, these are guys that have been around and been plenty successful for them defensively. The secondary is really a strength for this Georgia team in my mind. And like I mentioned, Auburn, they've been so bad throwing the football. They've been running it a ton. They actually have the 10th highest rushing rate in the country, 62.1%. Running the ball into the teeth of this Georgia defense is not going to win you football games. They don't have a dynamic quarterback. They don't have a passing game. Running the football with this kind of offense is just not going to be successful, and I think Auburn struggles to get to double digits. I know they're at home here. I do expect the defense to be well motivated at home and have a little bit of an advantage. Been really good against the pass. So I don't think this Georgia team will be able to move the ball at like find explosive plays and moving it with any pace. 6th in EPA per pass Auburn's been. Haven't been quite as good against the run, which I think Georgia will probably look to do to kind of control pace of this game, get out of Dodge here when it comes to a tough road environment to be able to play in. 46th in EPA against the run is Auburn, so not quite as good. Both these offenses run relatively slow, 65th and 89th in seconds per play, so this ball should not be moving at a high pace. This game shouldn't be moving at a high pace. I expect Georgia to win this game pretty handedly, but I could see this game being more of like a 24-7, 30 to 10 type of game where things don't get too out of hand because there are pretty solid defenses here, and Georgia just hasn't looked all that good offensively, so I like the under 45.5. All right, those are my 3 favorite plays for week 5 of the college football season. Again, if you guys are looking for more, this video is coming out on Thursday at around 5. So we've got plays. I have a couple plays on Thursday. I might have something on Friday. Didn't find something I absolutely loved right now, and then should have more on Saturday. So I'll include my Twitter down below in the description if you guys want to drop me a follow there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.